Every struggle you face is a silent testimony of strength, not weakness. The weight you carry every day, the responsibilities, the expectations, the self-doubt that whispers you're not enough, it's not a burden meant to break you, it's the resistance meant to build you. Think of it like gravity for the soul. It keeps you grounded, but it also shapes your muscles of resilience. You may wake up every morning with a heaviness pressing on your chest, wondering if today will be any different, if the effort will finally make sense. But here's the truth no one tells you. This heaviness you feel, it's not proof of your limits. It's evidence of your growth. You only feel the weight because you're still lifting, still fighting, still showing up. And that alone separates you from the ones who gave up. Every day that you choose to rise, you're rewriting the definition of strength. Not loud, not flashy, but quiet, relentless, and deeply human. There's a beauty in the invisible grind. The moments when you show up for your life, even when no one is watching, that's where transformation begins. The world celebrates results, but the real magic happens in the unseen hours. The nights when you stare at the ceiling wondering if any of this matters, and somehow you still decide to try again tomorrow. The mornings you drag yourself out of bed whispering, just one more day. That's where greatness is born, in the repetition, in the resilience, in the decision to move and inch forward when your entire body begs you to stop. And it's okay if no one notices. The universe always rewards effort, not applause. Every act of consistency, every sacrifice, every tear that falls silently into your pillow, it's all being counted, all shaping you into someone unbreakable. Because strength is never about how loud you roar, it's about how often you rise after you've been knocked down. So many people confuse struggle with failure. They think if life feels hard, they must be doing something wrong. But the truth is, struggle means you're in motion. It means you're trying, stretching, growing beyond what you once believed possible. If it's difficult, it's because you're expanding. Growth doesn't feel like fireworks, it feels like friction. It feels like doubt, fear, exhaustion, and still choosing to move forward. And you must learn to honor that. You must learn to see your struggle not as punishment, but as preparation. Every obstacle is molding you for a future that's still unfolding. Life is not testing you to see if you'll break. It's training you to prove that you won't. That's what makes your journey sacred. You're not weak for crying. You're strong for feeling it all and refusing to let it stop you. Every scar, every mistake, every heartbreak, it's carving depth into your spirit, giving you the strength to hold more, love more, and become more. The people who truly make it in this world are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who learn how to stand taller each time they do. You have to stop waiting for the pain to end before you move forward. You have to stop waiting for life to get easier. It doesn't. You get stronger. You adapt. You evolve. And that evolution is what gives your struggle meaning. The moments you thought you'd never survive are the same moments that shaped your character. They taught you humility, empathy, and grit. They turned your wounds into wisdom. And one day, someone else will look at you and think, how do they do it? How do they stay so strong? And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you finally understand that everything you went through was building you for this moment, for the person you've become. But strength doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It doesn't mean hiding your pain behind a brave face. True strength is honesty. It's saying, I'm struggling, but I'm still here. It's reaching out for help when you need it. It's allowing yourself to rest without guilt, to cry without shame, to heal at your own pace. Because resilience isn't built by pretending to be invincible, it's built by being real. The weight you carry isn't meant to crush you. It's meant to teach you balance. Some days you'll carry it with grace. Other days you'll stumble beneath it. Both are okay. Both are part of the process. What matters is that you never put it down permanently. You learn how to shift it, adjust it, grow stronger under it. And over time, you'll look back and realize that what once felt unbearable became the very thing that built your backbone. So, The next time you feel like you're not enough, remember this. The fact that you're still standing means you already are. Every day you survive, you win. Every moment you choose courage over comfort, you evolve. And even when no one sees the fight you're in, the universe does. It's watching, taking notes, aligning blessings you haven't yet imagined. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are becoming. So carry your weight proudly. It's not weakness. It's proof that you're alive, learning and transforming. The cracks in your armor don't make you broken. They make you real. You are the story that perseverance writes, the fire that refuses to go out, the heart that keeps beating against all odds. And one day, you'll understand that everything you carried, every burden, every fear, every tear, was not holding you back. It was lifting you higher. Obey because the weight you carry today is the strength you'll stand on tomorrow. Stop waiting for someone to notice you. Stop waiting for someone to tell you you're good enough. The world does not owe you recognition, applause, or validation. You owe yourself the truth. And the truth is this. You are not created to live small, to dim your fire, or to spend your life seeking permission to exist loudly. You are created to become someone so rooted in purpose that no amount of silence or rejection can shake your sense of worth. When you stop chasing acknowledgement and start building substance, something extraordinary happens. You become unstoppable. Because when your worth is self-made, no one can take it from you. You realize that your identity isn't defined by who claps for you, but by who you choose to be when no one's watching. The reflection in the mirror is not asking for fame, it's asking for effort. The reflection doesn't care how many likes you get, how many people know your name, or how many trophies sit on your shelf. It cares about one thing. Did you show up today? Did you fight for your potential, or did you let fear win again? The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects your choices, not your excuses. And deep down, you always know when you've given less than you could. You know when you've played it safe. You know when you've shrunk yourself just to fit into someone else's comfort zone. But life rewards the brave, not the convenient. Every time you face that reflection and say, I'm not there yet, but I'm still showing up, you're earning something far more valuable than recognition. You're earning self-respect. That's what lasts. That's what builds an empire from the inside out. You see, the world doesn't owe you fairness either. It doesn't hand out opportunities based on potential. It rewards persistence. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to stay consistent when the spotlight isn't shining. The grind behind closed doors is where legends are built. You may not have resources, connections, or luck, but if you have hunger, you already have the foundation. There's power in being underestimated, power in being overlooked. It gives you the space to work quietly, to grow roots before you rise, because recognition without readiness destroys more dreams than rejection ever will. Let them doubt you, let them ignore you, just don't stop building. Every late night, every sacrifice, every small step compounds into something unstoppable. The world eventually catches up to those who never quit. You must understand something essential. Approval is addictive. Self-belief is freedom. The moment you start needing people's validation to feel valuable, you've handed them control over your peace. And the people whose opinions you're chasing, most of them are still trying to figure out their own path. You can't let their limited vision define your future. Don't live your life waiting for a round of applause. Live it so that when you look back years from now, you're proud of who you became. Pride that comes from integrity, from grit, from knowing you didn't cut corners or sell your soul for attention. The quiet pride of knowing you did it your way, even when no one believed you could. Because self-respect will feed your spirit longer than approval ever could. The journey of earning your reflection is not about arrogance, it's about ownership. It's about taking responsibility for your potential. Too many people dream without discipline, talk without action, plan without execution. You cannot manifest a life you refuse to work for. You cannot demand greatness while hiding from discomfort. The reflection you're trying to impress is not fooled by pretty words. It craves proof. It wants to see effort, consistency, and courage. You earn your reflection through sweat, through sacrifice, through the small decisions you make every single day. Every skipped excuse, every extra hour, every risk taken, it all compounds into character. And that character is what defines your legacy long after recognition fades. So, stand in front of that mirror and stop apologizing for wanting more. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself the chance to see what you can become when you stop doubting your own power. You owe yourself the kind of respect that comes from showing up for your dreams, not just talking about them. When you choose to honor your reflection, you stop chasing validation and start embodying excellence. You realize that recognition is not something to wait for. It's something you earn by becoming undeniable. And one day, when the noise finally catches up, you won't need the world to tell you who you are. You'll already know. Because true success isn't being seen. It's becoming someone worth seeing. Pain is not the enemy. It's the messenger that shows you where the real work begins. We live in a world obsessed with comfort, where every inconvenience is treated like an emergency, but comfort never created growth. Every time you choose ease over effort, you trade a piece of your potential for temporary relief. Pain, on the other hand, demands your attention. It forces you to look at what you've ignored. It breaks you open so you can rebuild stronger, wiser, sharper. The truth is, pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Every wound, every heartbreak, every failure carries a hidden lesson wrapped in discomfort. The people who thrive in life aren't the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who learn to listen to it. Pain tells you what needs to change. It points you toward what still matters. And if you're willing to face it instead of running from it, it becomes your greatest ally. Think about the most powerful transformations you've witnessed in yourself. They didn't come from comfort, did they? They came from moments that broke you, stretched you, stripped away your illusions. Pain reveals your priorities. When everything hurts, only what's real remains. It burns away pretense and force. That's exactly why they never heal. You can't outpace what you refuse to face. You numb it with distractions, drown it in noise, cover it with smiles. But it always finds its way back until you finally sit with it. Growth begins the moment you stop escaping and start asking, what is this pain trying to teach me? Sometimes it's teaching you patience. Sometimes it's teaching you strength. Sometimes it's teaching you to let go of what no longer fits. Whatever the lesson, it's never wasted. Pain is honest. It doesn't lie to make you feel better. It's the most authentic feedback life will ever give you. When you stop fighting it and start learning from it, the same pain that once broke you starts building you. The most dangerous comfort in life is the kind that feels safe but keeps you stuck. Comfort whispers, stay here, it's enough. But deep down, you know it's not. It's the silent trap of complacency that kills more dreams than failure ever will. The people who reach greatness are not necessarily the strongest or the most talented. They're the ones who keep moving through discomfort when everyone else stops. They know pain is temporary, but regret is permanent. They understand that the reward for enduring is not just success, it's transformation. When you lean into discomfort, you stop being fragile. You become flexible, adaptable, unbreakable. You learn to carry your pain like a badge of honor, not a curse. It becomes proof that you were brave enough to grow. The irony of life is that the very thing we fear most, pain, is the one thing that connects us all. Everyone carries it differently, but no one escapes it. What defines you is not the pain itself, but how you respond to it. Do you let it harden you, or do you let it refine you? There's a power in embracing pain with purpose. When you stop saying, why me, and start saying, what now? Everything changes. You reclaim control. You stop being the victim of your circumstances and start becoming the author of your response. Every scar becomes a chapter of survival. Every wound a page of wisdom. Pain doesn't take away your power. It introduces you to it. So the next time life gets heavy and you feel the ache of growth pressing against your limits, Don't run from it, breathe through it, stand tall in it. The pain you feel today is proof that you're alive, evolving, becoming someone you've never been before. You don't have to love the pain, but you can learn to respect it. Because every time you choose to face it instead of fear it, you rise a little higher, shine a little brighter, and move a little closer to the person you are meant to become. Growth has never been gentle. It's raw, it's messy, it's uncomfortable, but it's real. And that's what makes it powerful. Trouble because pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to rebuild you into someone unstoppable. Comparison is one of the quietest poisons in our lives. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It tells you you're behind. It tells you you're not enough. It tells you someone else's progress is proof of your failure. But that's a lie. The truth is, every single person is walking a completely different path, built from completely different beginnings. The only race that exists is the one between who you are now and who you're becoming. The danger of comparison is that it tricks you into believing you're losing when you're not even in the same game. You scroll through your feed, you see people shining, celebrating, achieving, and without realizing it, you start dimming your own light. You start questioning your worth because you're measuring your journey against someone else's highlight reel. But here's what you need to remember. No one posts their process. They show you the victory, not the nights they cried, the risk they took, the failures they hid. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's edited version of success. And that's a battle you'll never win. You have to understand that comparison is a distraction, dressed up as motivation. It feels like drive, but it's actually self-sabotage. When you look sideways too long, you stop moving forward. You stop nurturing your own growth because you're too busy keeping score. And the saddest part, the person you're comparing yourself to is probably comparing themselves to someone else. It's an endless loop that steals your joy, drains your confidence, and blinds you to how far you've already come. Life isn't a competition. It's a collection of unique callings. Some people bloom at 20, others at 50. Some people sprint, others walk, others stumble but still get there. There is no right time. There is only your time. You're not late. You're on your own clock. So stop looking at what everyone else is doing and start asking, what am I building for me? When you stop comparing, you start seeing. You start noticing your own progress, your own rhythm, your own potential. The truth is, you don't need to be better than anyone else. You just need to be a little better than you were yesterday. That's real success. It's not about catching up to someone else's chapter. It's about writing your own. Every small victory you've earned, every challenge you've overcome, every time you kept going when it would have been easier to quit, that's what counts. But you'll never appreciate your own growth if you're too busy measuring it against someone else's. You rob yourself of peace when you live through comparison because it forces you to see life as a competition instead of a journey. And life was never meant to be a race. It was meant to be an experience. There's something liberating that happens when you finally stop comparing, you start creating. Creativity and authenticity can only exist when you stop trying to replicate someone else's path. You begin to move from imitation to innovation. You start expressing instead of proving. Because when your energy is no longer consumed by envy, it's freed up for purpose. You realize that the people you once envied can actually inspire you instead. Their success doesn't take away from yours. It expands what's possible. The world isn't running out of opportunity. There's more than enough for everyone. Your light doesn't dim when someone else's shines. In fact, the more we all rise, the brighter the world becomes. So instead of comparing, start celebrating. Someone else's win can be proof that yours is on the way. But here's the hardest truth. You'll never stop comparing until you truly love who you are right now. You can't measure yourself against others when you finally see your own worth clearly. Self-acceptance is the antidote to comparison. When you start honoring your story, the pain, the progress, the imperfections, you stop needing to compete. You realize that your journey isn't behind, it's beautifully, powerfully, uniquely yours. You stop chasing timelines and start trusting timing. You stop questioning your path and start owning it. The moment you decide that your worth is unconditional, the voices of comparison lose their power. You'll still see others winning, but it won't sting, it will inspire. You'll cheer, not compare. You'll learn, not envy. And that's when you truly grow. So the next time you catch yourself scrolling and thinking, they're ahead, I'm behind, pause, breathe. Remind yourself, no one else can live your story. No one else can walk your path. You're not behind, you're building. You're not slow, you're steady. You're not less, you're learning. Your time will come when it's meant to, not when it's convenient. Life is not about keeping up. It's about showing up. Every single day you show up for your dreams. Even in silence, even without recognition, you are winning. You are progressing. You are becoming. Don't measure your growth by what the world sees. Measure it by the battles you've overcome in private. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being the best. It's about being real, being resilient, and being you. Because the only purse on you ever need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Are. You scroll through your phone, through endless faces, victories, celebrations, and smiles that look effortless. Somewhere inside a whisper rises, you're not doing enough. You're falling behind. Yeah? That's the trap of comparison. It sneaks into your mind disguised as motivation, but its true purpose is to drain your confidence. What you don't see behind those perfect images is the pain, the sweat, the nights they almost gave up. You don't see the doubt behind their smile, but your heart believes what your eyes see. And before you realize it, you've measured your worth against someone else's projection. That's not truth, it's illusion. Comparison robs you of gratitude. It blinds you to how far you've already come because you're too busy looking sideways. Every time you compare your journey, you silence the unique rhythm that makes you who you are. You start living life as a reflection of others, instead of as the masterpiece you were meant to become. We were never meant to walk the same path. Every person has a story written in a different language, carved from different struggles and dreams. Yet we hold ourselves hostage to someone else's timeline, as if there's a universal clock that decides when success should arrive. You see someone thriving at 25 and think you failed at 30. But their chapter 5 is not your chapter 5. You might be in your chapter, still planting seeds while they're harvesting theirs. And that's okay. Growth is not linear. It's personal, unpredictable, sacred. The world glorifies fast success, but the strongest trees take years to root before they rise. You don't see the soil, they see the shade. But without those hidden years, there would be no strength to stand. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. You're not behind. You're becoming. Comparison will convince you that you're losing, even when you're making progress. It makes you forget the storms you've survived, the battles you've already won, the healing you've endured. You've overcome moments others couldn't handle. But when you compare, you erase your own victories. You shrink them down because they don't look big enough. But growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent and invisible. It's in the quiet choices you make when no one's watching. It's in the discipline to keep showing up even when no one cheers. That's real progress. The kind you can't post but you can feel. Don't let the noise of other people's journeys drown out your own heartbeat. You have something rare, something that can't be copied or measured. The world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs you. There is peace in realizing that admiration doesn't have to become envy. When you see someone succeeding, it doesn't mean you're losing. It means it's possible. Their success can be a sign that you're next, not that you're late. Use it as fuel, not a mirror. Let their light remind you of your own potential. Because when you start cheering instead of comparing, you rise faster. You build connections instead of competition. Life has enough space for every dream, enough room for every story to thrive. Your success doesn't diminish mine, and mine doesn't threaten yours. We're not meant to outshine each other. We're meant to illuminate together. So instead of asking, why not me? Ask, what can I learn from them? Shift envy into education, resentment into resolve. That's how comparison becomes transformation. But the hardest lesson of all is learning to trust your own timing. We rush, we panic, we assume that delay means denial, but life doesn't work on your schedule, it works on your readiness. Some dreams require more breaking, more building, more patience. They take time because you are still becoming the person capable of holding them. So stop resenting the wait. The waiting season is not wasted. It's where wisdom grows. It's where your character forms. If you got everything you wanted before you were ready, it would crush you. The universe isn't holding you back. It's preparing you. The struggle is not proof that you're behind. It's proof that you're being shaped for something greater. You can't compare your season of growth. It teaches you to act in spite of fear, to persist in spite of failure, to move in spite of uncertainty. The disciplined person doesn't wait for motivation. They create momentum through action. And once momentum builds, nothing can stop it. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Discipline means forgiving yourself when you fall but refusing to stay down. It's the daily decision to recommit, realign, and rise again. It's easy to romanticize success and forget the grind behind it. Every dream comes with a price, and discipline is the currency. There will be mornings when your body aches, when your mind wants to quit, when everything in you whispers, it's not worth it. But that's the moment discipline speaks louder. That's when the future version of you, stronger, wiser, freer, calls you forward. Discipline is how you honor that future self. It's the bridge between intention and reality. When you choose discipline, you're telling yourself that your vision matters more than your comfort. Every no you say to distraction is a yes to your destiny. The grind is not glamorous, but it's sacred. It's the space where character is forged and purpose takes shape. So when motivation fails you, and it will, don't give up. Remember that success doesn't belong to those who start with passion. It belongs to those who continue with persistence. Discipline will not always feel good, but it will always feel right. It's the invisible force that separates the talkers from the doers, the wishers from the winners. It's what keeps your dreams alive when inspiration runs dry. And someday when people look at your life and call you lucky, you'll know the truth. Luck had nothing to do with it. It was discipline, the quiet, consistent, unshakable kind that built everything they see. Because motivation may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. And that's where greatness lives. You were not born to play small. You were not placed on this earth to dim your light just to make others comfortable. Somewhere along the way, life taught you to shrink, to lower your voice, to question your worth, to hide your brilliance behind politeness and fear. But you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. Every time you silence yourself to avoid judgment, you abandon a piece of who you truly are. Every time you settle for less because it's safer, you betray your own potential. Playing small might make others feel secure, but it leaves you empty. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your raw, unfiltered, unapologetic truth. You have a fire in you that's waiting to be unleashed, and it will keep burning quietly until the day you decide to stop apologizing for your power and start owning it. You've been told to be humble, but humility doesn't mean hiding. It means standing tall without arrogance, shining without shame. Somewhere, people convinced you that confidence is conceit, that strength is aggression, that ambition is selfish, but confidence is simply knowing who you are and walking in it. Power is not dominance, it's direction. Ambition is not greed, it's purpose. You have every right to want more, to want a life that excites you, challenges you, stretches you. The people who call you too much are the ones who've accepted too little. Let them think what they will. They're not the ones who have to live your life. You are. And you deserve to live it fully, boldly, unapologetically. Never forget, shrinking yourself doesn't serve anyone. The moment you stop asking for permission to shine, you become unstoppable. Every time you choose to play small, you reinforce the belief that you are unworthy of greatness. But look around. Every great name, every extraordinary story began with someone who refused to stay invisible. They weren't necessarily the most talented, but they dared to be seen. They risked failure, rejection, misunderstanding, all because they believed in something greater than fear. Playing small might feel safe. Boo. Safety has never built empires. Safety doesn't create innovation. Safety doesn't change lives. You cannot make an impact if you're busy trying to be invisible. The truth is, fear will always be there. It will whisper, "Who do you think you are?" And your answer must be louder. I am enough. I am capable. I am ready. Your greatness isn't waiting for the perfect moment. It's waiting for courage. There's a light inside you that's been dimmed by doubt, by criticism, by the expectations of others. You've been told you're too ambitious, too emotional, too bold. But too much only sounds wrong to those who've settled for too little. You were made to take up space. You were made to lead, to create, to influence, to inspire. And no one else can do it the way you can. That's your power, your uniqueness. Stop comparing your shine to someone else's glow. The sun doesn't compete with the stars. It rises in its own time. So should you. When you embrace your individuality, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living reminder that authenticity is power, and that the world changes not because of those who fit in, but because of those who dare to stand out. Playing small doesn't protect you. It imprisons you. It keeps you in a box that was never meant for your brilliance. You start shrinking your goals to fit the expectations of people who have no idea what you're capable of. But remember this, the opinions of others are not the limits of your destiny. Your purpose is bigger than their perception. The fear of judgment is temporary, but the regret of not living fully is forever. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your dreams. You don't have to justify your hunger for more. The only approval you need is your own. Because when you stop letting others dictate your worth, you start reclaiming your life. You begin to live from a place of freedom, not fear. From authenticity, not acceptance. So step into your power completely, courageously, unapologetically. Speak when your voice trembles. Act when your hands shake. Dream when your mind doubts. You owe it to yourself to see what happens when you stop holding back. The world is waiting for you to rise, to show up as the person you were always meant to be. Stop hiding your gifts. Stop second-guessing your brilliance. Stop waiting for the right time. The time is now. You've been preparing your whole life for this moment. The world doesn't need smaller versions of you. It needs the full, fearless, radiant version. And when you finally decide to stop playing small, you won't just change your life, you'll change everyone who watches you rise. Doggo, because you were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand tall, shine bright, and set the world on fire. RTA. Every morning you wake up is another chance to begin again. Another chance to rewrite the story. To breathe courage into your fear. And to take one more step forward, even when the path feels uncertain. Life will always test you through doubt, disappointment, and detours that make you question everything you thought you knew. But the truth is, every single struggle you face carries meaning. You are not here by accident. Every moment of frustration, every heartbreak, every unexpected twist is shaping you into someone wiser, braver, and more grounded. You might not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that the hardest seasons of your life were actually the ones that built your foundation. They didn't come to destroy you. They came to prepare you for the greatness you have been asking for. We often think that strength means being unbreakable. It doesn't. Real strength means breaking and rebuilding yourself again and again, each time with more purpose. It means falling to your knees, wiping your tears and whispering, "Not yet, but soon." Life will never stop testing you, but it's not because you're weak. It's because you're meant for more. Every challenge is an invitation to evolve. The pain you're feeling now is the evidence that growth is happening beneath the surface. It's the universe saying, you're ready for the next level. Strength is not measured by how easily you stand. It's measured by how deeply you rise after being broken. Every scar you carry is a chapter of proof that you've survived battles that others didn't even see. That is something to be proud of. But strength alone is not enough. You must also learn to believe in your own power, to trust that even when you can't see the whole road ahead, you are still being guided. We live in a world obsessed with control, where uncertainty feels like failure. But faith begins where control ends. You must learn to walk in the dark with conviction, to keep going when the results haven't yet arrived. Every dream worth having will ask you to keep walking long after the motivation has faded. It's easy to believe when everything is working in your favor, but true faith shows up when nothing makes sense. That's where your character is tested, where your resilience becomes real. The ones who rise are the ones who trust the process, even when the process feels impossible. And yet, trusting doesn't mean waiting in silence. It means working with intention. It means showing up every single day even when you're tired, even when you don't see progress, even when your heart feels heavy. Because consistency creates miracles. Every small step, every quiet effort, every moment you choose persistence over procrastination, it all adds up. Success is not a lightning strike, it's a slow burn. You build it day by day, choice by choice. The people who seem lucky are simply the ones who didn't quit when it got hard. They kept planting seeds long before the garden bloomed. You must be willing to do the same. To water your dream even when it feels like it's not growing. Because the truth is, it's growing, you just can't see it yet. You also have to learn to protect your energy. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's okay. Some will doubt you, criticize you, or try to make you smaller because your courage reminds them of their fear. Don't take it personally. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. You can love